Welcome, everybody. Today, we're going to do a quick little training on how to create an AI conversation agent, or we call it an AI bot. We like to give them names. Like we use an AI agent called Jack on our main website, and Jack shows up right down here, so people can quickly, book calls, and they can also find out about pricing. And Jack also knows everything about our platform. So if somebody wants to know like how to create a new website. Jack will explain it step by step exactly what you need to do to create the website. And he's also really good at keeping track of the conversation, and we can keep a record of all the conversations that Jack has with customers. And Jack learns from the conversation. So if you come back, you can easily, pick up a conversation where you left off. So yeah, just go to the sites option on the left menu, click on this funnels or website tab, and hit the create site. So it's a really nice feature. A lot of people use this type of tool because as humans, we want immediate response, especially right now. We want immediate response. We don't want to wait an hour for someone to get back to us. We want to find out right away what's the answer. Or right away, I got to book an appointment. Because if I wait 2 to 3 hours, then it's probably going to be another 2 or 3 days because other people have booked in front of me. So that immediate response is really critical. It's also really critical for sales. I look for leads on different systems like Bark and Fiverr, and when customers put in requests, if I don't respond to them within 10 minutes, well, they've already opened a can of beer and they're sitting on the couch and they're watching TV and they forgot they even had a problem. And so having these types of tools helps us to meet our customers where they're at. Some people prefer chat. I know I do when I'm like trying to get connected to Comcast. I'd rather just get my answer through chat than sit on the phone and wait and talk to somebody who's probably not going to provide me with great service. And the other thing that it's really good at is the follow-up. So we want to follow up right away with customers because we want to know that, we want them to know that we remember them, we know what they need. We want to see if they have any other questions because we get off the phone and guess what? We have a question. So it's really important to have all those types of features. And so today what we're going to do is we're going to create a conversation bot like Jack, in the 1stContact.ai platform. So we're a full AI integrated CRM platform. And it's where you store all your customer contact information. Scheduling can happen. It's all included in the system. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to AI agents on the left. And then we're going to go up to conversation AI. And then we're going to go to agent list. And we're going to create a new bot. And there's several different ways that we can do it. We can do guided form, prompt-based, where we specifically create, line by line directions for it, or more of a flow builder where it's kind of visual. But I'm going to do this guided form setup. And also this session's being recorded on Fireflies. You'll all get an email and you're welcome to watch the video, download the transcript, look at the summary as much as you'd like. Now I want a bot that can schedule demos for me. So I'm going to set this one up. Appointment booking is our option. And it's already pre-programmed to help with appointments. So it already knows that, okay, we need to know the date, the time, the duration. It already knows all of that information. So I'm going to hit continue here. And then the other thing that your system hopefully has, or may not have quite yet if you're brand new, is a brand voice. And this helps to inform the bot on your business. If you are a chiropractor, that is a very different business than an auto mechanic. We talk to our customers with different words, different language. If you are one of those like New Horizons study schools for kids in high school that might need some extra help, we might want to communicate at a 7th grade level to those customers versus maybe a lawyer in a law office. We probably communicate at a higher level to those people. And so personalizing the experience is really, really important. And we went through and we created Jenny, and Jenny has all of our information. And Jenny is very friendly, has our target audience. So Jenny knows exactly who we're looking for, what our customer pain points are. People are using lots of different software. They're paying high costs. Our complete system is $49 a month or $490 a year. And it comes with everything that you would get in more expensive systems. And there's stagnant data. A lot of people are saving their stuff in an Excel spreadsheet, and they don't have the complete customer picture. They don't know everything that's going on with their customers. What's our brand promise? What do we really promise to achieve for our customers? What are our values? What do we do? What makes us better than our competitors? And also, what's our unique selling proposition or USP? We call that USP in marketing. And that is about what makes us inimitable, really hard to copy, what makes us unique. And in this market, we're very boutique. We don't work with a ton of clients. We have a small client base. We onboard maybe 2 to 3 new clients every week. I personally want to meet them, and I'm going to work as hard as I can to continue that effort because I want to know exactly what our customers need so I can make sure that we're rolling out changes to the system that meets their needs in the future. And the other thing is we want to make sure that we're actively working with our customers and we're helping drive a call to action. And the call to action is a demo. So we offer these 30-minute demos. We love talking to customers, figuring out what's bothering them, what are their problems, how can we solve those problems. So that's our voice. I'm going to come back here and go back in here. And I'm going to go back to continue and close that. And then we're going to use our brand voice now. We need to give our bot a name. Does anybody have a good name for a bot? You can throw some ideas in the chat if you'd like. We're working with a company called Buckley Heat Air, and we just created a bot named Buck at Buckley. We've worked with Better Buy Pools, and we have Betty at Better Buy Pools. But we'll have a little name competition. Hold on one second. I just have to turn on Do Not Disturb. I'm sorry about that. I should have done that before the meeting. Okay, there we go. So any bot name ideas? I'm waiting for some ideas. No takers on the bot name. How about, what's the progressive lady? Flo? Is it Flo? Flo at First Contact, FF. So we'll call our chat widget Flo. And we'll make her the primary. So this would be the agent then that's on our website. And there's a lot of different ways that Flo can interact with customers. So you see Instagram there. Well, if somebody sends us a DM on Instagram, Flo can respond automatically. Facebook DMs, if someone text messages a phone number connected to Flo, she can respond on text message. Chat widget, live chat, WhatsApp. There's a lot of different ways that we can interface. And we give her like a 2-second delay before she responds. Otherwise, people are like, whoa, they don't really expect an immediate, like instant response. So we want to give that just to make it more human-like. And then we want to give her an initial message. This is Flo at 1stContact.ai. Let me I provide you with 5-star service today. And if you talk to our chief marketing officer, he would tell you to have something like this because it's planting a seed in the customer's head. 5-star service. I bet if I ask for a review, we want to get a 5-star review, right? Okay, and then we're going to hit next. And now we can think about, okay, what kind of information do we need from our customers in order to help them the best? Probably name, email. A lot of people are nervous about giving out their phone number, maybe their city. Maybe we have different services in different cities, or, if you're like an HVAC company, you may only service 5 or 6 cities. So you want to make sure you're talking to someone that's in the service area. And we then can go in and we can say, we're going to ask for their first name, and then we're going to put it in this field on the contact record. So we save it. We make sure we want to save everything. And if we already have the name and we know who the person is, we're not going to ask it again. That's just irritating. I don't know if you've been on a call and people are like, what's your phone number? Oh, can you give me your phone number again? Oh, wait, I need your phone number one more time. Just kind of irritating. And we want the bot to book appointments. And so what we're going to do is we're going to turn on calendar and we're going to go down to demo. So I want Flo to help us book demos. And then we can create an automation that kicks off automatically after the call. Like maybe we wait a day and then we have Flo call the customer and make sure they got what they needed. Or we send a review request. Or maybe we set up a Flo to contact a print company to send them a flyer. Or maybe a notebook to say thank you for your business. We can do all sorts of stuff with the system and trigger all sorts of different actions. And we can allow the bot to cancel and reschedule. And I always turn these on. I mean, I don't want to have to hold someone like, oh my God, I have to talk to a human to cancel my appointment. That's irritating. So we don't want that. We call it friction. We don't want that friction, right? We want this to be easy. If someone wants to cancel their appointment, they can chat with Flo, cancel the appointment. or reschedule it. And then I want to know if Flo doesn't know the answer to something, because it's real important for me to be able to train Flo to make sure that she has all the correct answers. And I'm going to have it send a email to me. So I'll get an email once the conversation's done with a transcript, and also I'll get a notification if there was something that Flo couldn't answer. If anybody has questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I got it up on my other monitor here. You can also, if you're brave, just jump in and go ahead and ask. I love dialogue, so ask away. And now I'm going to hit save. Okay, what does this mean? So the bot can do different things automatically, and we always recommend autopilot. And autopilot means the bot, if it gets a message like a text or a DM, it's going to just respond automatically right away. We don't want to delay. We don't want to wait 8 hours for someone to come in the office and respond. So we put this on autopilot, and of course, we're going to test it. Test, test, test it. Um, AI is a child. And if you don't test it, it's going to do what it thinks is right or the thinks is the right answer, but it doesn't necessarily know your business yet. So we want to make sure that we test it, train it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save and close. Now I can see Flow here. I can see we got autopilot turned on. And I can see that we're going to wait 2 seconds before we respond. And I've set a maximum number of messages back and forth just in case someone over in, I don't know, Bangladesh decides to run a computer program to mess with me and start sending really weird messages. We can limit this amount. So we'll put a stop to that. And we can also have the bot respond to voice notes or images that might be attached. And if I jump in and start chatting with the client. So, for example, someone, Kelly, I see Kelly on the call here. Kelly comes to the First Contact website. She asks a question, and I know the answer to it right away. And I happen to be in there in the app. I can respond right away. And if I do, it's going to put the bot to sleep for Kelly for 2 hours, because then the bot knows I have the conversation. I got it. If we don't intercede, we don't say anything, it's going to just continue to chat. And we can do kind of some different style options. And this is all about how the response should be. Should it be very concise and short? Should it be balanced? Should it be highly detailed? If you're a law firm, probably highly detailed. If you are running I don't know, a sport betting house or something, it probably needs to be really super concise. If for most people, though, we want a balanced response. So we don't want 10 pages of typing. We also don't want 2 words. So we want it balanced. And I'm going to go ahead and hit save on that. And you're all going to get a chance to chat with Flo here in a moment. Okay, training, training, training. So I want this bot to be connected to a knowledge base. And let me explain what that is here. I'm going to switch over to the knowledge base option at the top here. So let's say I'm running a business. Let me just think of a business that we could use. I have a lead service, a lead list service for customers that need to find leads. We sell curated leads to them. So this is another kind of side business that we do with First Contact, and we can actually bring the leads right into the system for our customers. But let's say this bot is going to go on this website. So I want to train the bot all about this website, all of the information here so that the bot speaks correctly to customers. So I'm going to create a new knowledge base, scale my business, KB. This is for Flow. It's always good to make notes, and all about scale data.app. Okay, now what do we want Flow to know? Well, we're going to have Flow trained on the website. So I'm first going to add a website source over here on the right. And we can go right to the exact URL. If you know there's only one page you want, it's good to do that. If you want to pick all the web pages in a certain path, for example, we're just working with an HVAC company that sells Train heating and cooling HVAC. And so not commercial. So I trained the bot to just go after this. This has to be in the address. Otherwise, it's not going to train on it. So what I want to do is I don't care about that. There's nothing real special. It's a short little website. We're going to have it just do the whole thing. And we're going to say all URLs within the path and extract. And so it's going out right now and it's scanning the website, it's cataloging all the information and getting it put into a database on the back end so that it can quickly and easily recall information if it's needed. Now, there's certain things though that I want to make sure it does. Um, we've had people ask us if we have an office, and there's a very specific answer that I want it to give. Do you have an office? We are a virtual company and do not have a physical office at this time. But we can move into your house and work there if you want, dot, dot, dot. Try to be a little funny once in a while. So now if somebody should ask, do you have a location, where are you located, that sort of thing, it knows exactly what to say back. Tables are really important. If we have a table of data, like let's say we have a massive spreadsheet of all of our products, all of the colors and sizes and shapes that it comes in, and we want the bot to know, we can upload a CSV of all that data and it will train on it. Rich text is if we're using the bot to help us create content. And so we might want to load our logo. We might want to load specific things that's already designed a certain way so that if we ask it to do that, it can just replicate whatever that is. And any other file, if I have, a brochure, or if I have like a case study that we wrote up and maybe I don't know where it is online, but I got the file, I can upload it here and it will train on all that information. Let's see how the web crawler is doing. Okay, so the web crawler finished and we're going to view all pages. It found 5 pages. Okay, so we got the main page, try for free, our privacy, our terms, and do not sell my data. That's really important for us. We give people, in case they ever want to just tell us, don't sell my data, we can do that and immediately take them out of any lists. So this is good. I'm going to have it train on all of these sites. And we sometimes change the website maybe on a weekly basis. We might adjust our pricing. We might have new offerings. And so I'm going to tell it to auto refresh every week. It can also say daily or monthly. And there's usage fees in the system, but this stuff, there's no usage costs for any of this. It can do training and we can have 1 million knowledge bases, 1 million bots, 1 million websites connected up, tons of document. There's no limits on any of that and no additional cost on any of that. Okay. So let's go back to where we are and take a look at the landscape here. So we can keep track of all the conversations that come in. We can keep track of specific agents. So I want to see what Jack's numbers are. Okay. Okay, so Jack hasn't been doing as much lately and time saved. This was because Jack's booking appointments, so we don't have to do them. Keeps track of that. And there's been a total of 83 messages. Okay, and that's just February. Let's say I want to go back to the beginning of time here. Oh, this is way before we even started. I'm just going to do that and that. Let's see. Didn't change. So Jack's data is primarily from, and that's right. Actually, we rolled out Jack at the beginning of February, so that's correct. And we can also see, is Jack responding to SMS messages versus Facebook messages, and what are those statistics? Okay, we're going to go back in and work with Flow here. So now bot training. We need to connect her to her knowledge base. So we're going to do that, and it tells me, okay, I got 5 links in there, 1 FAQ. Make sure to hit save. And then the brand voice is Jenny. So that's our brand voice. And the brand goals, we already went through this, but this is name, email, city. We're going to skip if we already know. We're going to try to get it to book demos. We're not going to kick off a workflow. And then we're going to allow the bot to cancel and do other things. And let's see here. See if there's any additional instructions. And so this is what we call a prompt. And the prompt is very detailed instructions that the bot uses in order to perform the right way. And a little trick here, if we take this or any prompt and we use AI to update a prompt, AI to update AI, we want this, I want to tell it, conversation AI prompt to be more comprehensive, meaning as detailed as possible. add more rules and context for this agent. And this agent is being used to scale data. We need lists, and the goal is to book the customer into a demo. Okay, and we'll let AI chew on that for a little bit. And then it's going to come back with all the information here. And the role with AI, we always tell it what we want it to be, because that preloads some data on the back end. So if the AI needs to know all about cars, you are an expert at cars. And then we want to tell a little bit more about its job. You are an expert at cars and the mechanics. And then customers may call you or message you to get information on the mechanics of different cars. We specialize in cars from 1910 or 1920 to 1960. And then we give it some examples. And so there's going to be all sorts of conversation rules. And here's some examples because it doesn't know. You have to tell it kind of what you want it to be. The other thing that a lot of people don't know is that these conversation bots they have universal language built in automatically. So let's say I want to talk to Jack in Norwegian. God dag, hvordan har du det? Hello, good day. How are you doing today? I noticed the other day that Jack had a conversation in Arabic. I had no idea. Tack för att du språk. Okay, thanks for asking, Nicholas. I'm having a great day. I hope you're having a great day too, is what it was, what it wrote back. And then he's trying to get us to book. So, hola, como, I'm gonna just butcher this. Está. We'll switch to Spanish. And this is all just built right in. And then these conversations can be saved. Yep, we just switched to Spanish. If anybody has any language that you want me to test, you can go ahead and put it in the chat, and I'll do a little test. Okay. So let's jump back to our. Notice I distracted everybody while Gemini was working. That's kind of what I do. So we're going to come back in here, and I'm going to copy all of this information. Okay. And then we're just going to paste it in. Blow that away and stick this in. Ugh, what? That doesn't look great, does it? Let's just do this again. And these fields they're typically not like rich text fields, where you're gonna have bolding and colors and stuff. But what we can do is we can also throw it into Word. Okay, so it really is truly coming in that way. Goodness gracious. Boy, that looks awful. But the AI can figure it all out. So this is probably a good test. Let's see if it can read this and understand it. I'm gonna go ahead and hit save. And notice there's also a character limit. So we don't want to get too verbose in our directions because it could confuse it and then it's going to hallucinate where it's starting to do strange things. Okay, now let's do some training and see how the bot does. Okay, how may I provide you with 5-star service today? To get started, what's your name? It did a great job, so I'm going to give it a thumbs up because that's what I want it to do, that over and over again. My name is George. Let's see what it does. Thanks, George. What's the best email for you? trnpls@gmail.com. Okay. What city are you based in? Minnetonka, Minnesota, where it's a balmy, probably 10 degrees outside. Okay, ready to book a quick demo, streamline your business. I can check for earliest available slots for you. Yes, that would be great. So I kind of gave it two really different things. I gave it booking demos for First Contact, and then I trained it on the website for a lead list company or lead list service. Okay, so now it's giving me some options, but I'm going to say, but what about scale data? Can you provide a lead list? And we'll see what, absolutely. Scale Data provides human verified B2B lead lists that are built fresh by hand when you order, just like a nice hot hamburger. You can even get a free sample of 25 leads if you sign up on the website. And we deliver them within 24 to 48 hours because we verify everything like 4 times. And again, coming right back to the demo, can we get you into a demo? We want to do that. Real important, but all this is great. What is the color of the sky? I like to just throw out some weird questions just to see what happens. Color of the sky is blue during the day, but it can change depending on the weather and time of day. Uh, Back to book your demo, right back, bringing us right back to the call to action. And I'm going to say yes, that time works, and give it a thumbs up. Okay, we're all set, George. Book the demo. And so what has happened since I gave my email, I've received an invitation in my email to put on my calendar with a Zoom link from the calendar in First Contact. And it's also been put on the system calendar. So whoever's giving the demo will have it on their calendar as well. And did a great job. Okay, so let's find a website to put this agent on, and everyone can play with it if you would like. And we create a lot of different funnels and all sorts of pages that do all sorts of things. Oh, got a question. Can the AI connect to the calendar in First Contact? Yes, it can. And let me show you how that works. So I'm going to go back in and open up Flow again. And Flow can do all sorts of stuff. So we did, we trained it on kind of how we want it to communicate, the knowledge we're going to give it, the brand voice, the goals. And for the goals, we turn on appointment booking. And so these are all the calendars we have set up in the system right here. So we have a training calendar, new customer onboarding, which is 2 hours, help, that sort of stuff. And we're connecting her right with the demo. And if you want to see, I can show you the demo calendar so you kind of see how that's set up. And in the system, like Calendly, you get one calendar for free. We allow unlimited calendars, no cost. And so you can set up as many as you want for all different sorts of things. Okay. And this is what a calendar looks like. It's very similar to Calendly. Get your logo and your name, description, and what's the kind of URL if you want to send somebody a direct link to the calendar. And then who's going to do the meetings? You can have multiple people if you want. What's the availability? What are the booking rules? So these are typically 15, I'm going to say 20 minutes. I want at least a 1 day notice because I don't want to be surprised and be like, oh, I got a demo in 5 minutes. And I want pre-buffer and post-buffer time. So I have time to go to the bathroom, read about the next client before I get on the call. And then how many bookings will I allow per day? Now, I'm not going to have 20 or 15 20-minute slots, but I want as many as possible in case I have an open day. So I just put 15 in. And if somebody were to book a demo with me and I had every single day, every single time slot available, huh, are do they actually do work? Do people talk to them? Are they good? Right? People that are good, like a good doctor, you may have to wait a month to see them. So we kind of immediately mark our calendars 30% busy so we don't look like we're wide open, even though we may be or maybe not. My calendar isn't super wide open, but I do turn that on. And then we can also have a special form just for the booking. So we can ask questions like, how did you find us? Or tell us about your business problem. And if you don't want that, you can just do the default first name, last name, email, phone, and notes. Then after the booking, we can redirect. We can put in our meta pixel if we're doing this in conjunction with a meta advertisement. We can collect a payment for this booking. So consultations aren't free, they're $50. They'll get prompted by Stripe to put in their credit card. And then it can do all of the notifications and reminders. We have to do a ton of this in these days because everybody is so saturated with email and text message. It's endless. Um, and so we can put everything in here and have it do an SMS and an email reminder. So people make sure they show up. We can also allow people to reschedule maybe up to 30 minutes before, cancel up to 30 minutes before. And then this is what the information will be in the calendar appointment. So I can actually see all that information right there. And then, that's an old image. So let's remove that. And I'm going to go out to if anybody wants a beer, I got a bunch of them right here. Okay, let's go find our branding folder and let's find our logo. There we go. And then I kind of like this color. It's a kind of a darker blue. Actually, the one I like is this one. I'm a freak. I know some hex codes by heart. I don't know how, but it got in my head somehow. Okay. And then I also have a special conversion tracking ID here. And this I think was for LinkedIn or Google. I can't remember. So we can track conversions. So that shows you the calendar setup. And then it works in conjunction with the conversation agent. Hello. Now I'm going to go ahead and put any other questions before I move on. And you can give me any question. Try to stump me. Give me a business problem that you think maybe chat can help with. I love business problems. Okay, let's go find a website here. Let's go into production. Okay, so here is a scale data site. Let's see, is this? Yep, so this is that website. Right now, Jack is connected to it. But I want Flow to be connected to it. And so the first thing we do is we come up here to chat widget. So anything website related is under sites. And then these are all the website related things like forms and surveys and funnels and stores and webinars and SEO and all that stuff that's website related. But we're going to create a new chat widget. You can have a million of them if you have a million sites. And we're going to make this one just do live chat. And then I'm going to give this one a name. Hello. And we can change some of the color. So here you can see kind of what flow would look like. Let's make flow green. Hi there, have a question. Hi there, how may we provide you with a 5-star experience? Okay, and then if it knows who I am, it's going to say, welcome back, Nick. And then let's go look at the chat window. Have a question. Okay, so that's up there. We can change that. There's a contact form, so we can pull that information in right away. And then we can also, say, hey, just give us a moment. Let's go find somebody. And so with the Lead Connector app, it's called Lead Connector. It works on pretty much any mobile device, actually, any mobile device, besides a BlackBerry, and I don't think anybody has those anymore. But the Lead Connector app is great because it instantly can connect me with chats that are going on in the system and give me a little buzz, and I got it right here. And so if I'm laying in bed and it's 10 in the morning, I just don't want to get up and somebody's chatting, I can just quickly respond if I want to. And then how long do you want to wait for inactivity? And then we can do all sorts of other little settings here. Maybe we only want the chat to work during business hours, or we want to make sure there's a sound with it. We want to say it's powered by, and you could have, I see Alan is on here. He has a company called AQA Connect. He can say powered by AQA Connect. It's another nice little way to get your brand out there, get the name out there. And then under messaging, let's see here. So there's some just kind of basic messaging things that we can say. We can even change the little kind of icon placeholders. And now I am going to just shrink this up a little bit, I think. Or there we go. There's the save. Why is the save button so tiny? Oh, there we go. So save it. Now, I've had people say, well, Nick, I have a website. It's hosted on GoDaddy. It's not in 1stContact. Can this chat widget work on that website? Yes, it can. It can do, we can do multiple things. If it's a WordPress site, we can get it for WordPress. And this is the Lead Connector app. If you put this plugin in WordPress, anything you create in 1stContact can be brought in, like forms, chat widgets, surveys, quizzes, QR codes, anything that you're creating can just be brought right in automatically. Or if you're doing something totally different, you get a little block of code, and you can throw this code right into the body section or into the footer of every page. And on every page that it has, it's going to have this little bubble show up so you can chat with your chatbot. Okay, so now we have a chat widget created. We have it programmed. We've tested it. Now we're going to connect it to our website. And so I'm going to come back in here and go back to Scale Data Funnel. And I'm going to go to Events. And I'm going to switch to Flow. Okay. And then I am going to connect this to a domain. Let me just switch to, oh, Cyber Monday. We're not using that anymore right now. Okay. Well, these are what you call subdomains. We can set up as many as you want in the system. And then let's just see. Okay, so now we're going to Cyber Monday, and we have our little thing here. Oh, representative will get back to you. Powered by AQA Connect. Give us a minute. Sure. Now let's say you don't want it to say that. You just want it to go right in and start talking. Oh, hello, this is Flo. How may I provide you with 5-star service today? To get started, what's your name? John. Okay. You can even switch out that little graphic, the little image. Best email. Okay. Actually, let me think of a different email. 5@tactic.net. Great, John. Trying to keep things moving. What city are you based in? I am in Tampa, Florida. You can also do things like have the chatbot go right to the customer's need and then get their contact information. Or you can jump in with a little form and get contact information. Okay. Would you like to book an appointment? What do you do at First Contact? It also can handle bad grammar, spelling issues without any problem. It's pretty sweet. So now it's combined the two things. So we have First Contact, which is our CRM, and Scale Data, which is our lead list service. So now it's saying we can help businesses scale by providing highly curated, verified B2B lead lists. Um, and get us a little bit more information. Do you want to book a demo? Yes. Now I'm going to show you where this conversation's showing up. So if we come back and we go into contacts, we're going to have a new contact record for John right at the top here with my email, and I can see the conversation right in here. Okay, hello. Sure, I can wait. This is Flo. And I think she did a great job. I'm gonna give her a thumbs up. John, thanks, John. What's the best email? Good job. Got the email and recorded the email in the right field. Great. Thanks, John. Keeping things moving. What city are you in? Great job. Tampa, Florida. Thanks for letting me know. Uh, would you like to book an appointment? So coming right back to that call to action. Great job. Updated contact field. What do you do at First Contact? I think this answer was great. And yes, and then there's some options for a meeting. Okay. And then let's say I want to just jump in. Hi, John. This is Nick. How are you today? It's always fun to talk to yourself. Let's see here. Where is that? There I am. So, hi, John. This is Nick. How are you doing today? Oh, hi, Nick. Doing well. What do you do? Okay. And so you see the chatbot stopped responding because we put her to sleep for 2 hours. And so, oh, there it is. How responding. I am the head of First Contact, the chief troublemaker. Okay. And then we can kick off a workflow at the end to save this whole conversation. We can put it in the notes section, so we'll have a nice record of everything that was said. And we just keep training and using it. Now, if I had this connected to a phone number and I texted that number, Flo would write me back as well. And also from a DM, from chat, from Facebook. I don't know. I don't know if I can do that, but let's try. If anybody wants to go to our Facebook page, you're welcome to do that too. So let's send a message. Okay, so Jenny's connected. Let's see who we get. Might take a moment here. You know how demos go. Oh, there's Flo. So how may I provide you with five-star service? So again, it's a consistent experience. If we order a hamburger in New York and a hamburger from McDonald's in San Francisco, we want it to taste, look, and smell the same. So we have a very consistent experience going back and forth. I am in Atlanta, Georgia. That was a horrible, horrible Southern accent. Sorry about that. Okay. Oh, thanks for letting me know. Would you like to book a demo? So again, bringing it right back. And now I can go back into First Contact and I'm going to go out here and let's see. Oh, yep, here it is right here. So it took the first record in the list and that's where it connected me. And so I can also jump right in and start chatting with it on Facebook too. Hi there, this is Nick jumping in. Thank you, Flo. And then, hi there, this is Nick jumping in. Thank you, Flo. So we want to connect with our customers. We want to be quick. We want to be easy. We want to make sure we're capturing leads right away so that we don't lose sales. That concludes our demo on how to set up a conversation AI bot and connect it to a website. I'm open to any questions. If anybody wants to hop on and ask some hard questions or talk about anything within the system, if anybody wants to see something else, I'm happy to demo. Or we all came back from lunch and we're just kind of tired. Any takers? Okay. Well, thank you all. Really appreciate all of you. Thanks, Alan, Danny, Kelly, Mark, Shauna, and Travis. Thanks, Danny. Good stuff. It is. It is. This is becoming an AI first world. And whether you like it or not, it's coming. So we either need to get on board or be left behind, unfortunately, at this point. So thank you, Alan. Thanks, Nick. Okay. You all have a great day. If anybody needs anything or you want to play with this, you can talk to Flo if you want at cybermonday.firstcontact.ai. Try to break her. Ask her some strange questions. So, cheers. Thank you. Bye.